everybody. This is our third Friday of the Heart to Heart Ministry Sunshine Chats. Today's chat is on courage. Now, I'm not talking about courage that's like this. I'm talking about courage that comes from the heart. So today's is called A Heart of Courage. It's the same name of the book that I have. Don't forget, go on the website to find out how to buy the book, A Heart of Courage, Heart to Heart Ministry, h2h.nyc. I want to tell you something about the Heart of Courage. The Heart of Courage is honest. It adapts and embraces all of life, but then it arises better. And we're all going to do this during this pandemic. We can arise a little bit better. Now, a Heart of Courage is quite human. You all know that. It's vulnerable, fearful, stubborn at times, anxious, it fails, and yes, it gets angry. Sometimes it's tearful and sad, troubled or depressed, even selfish at times or disheartened. Now, with all that being said, a heart of courage can be truthful, unwavering in trust, determined, compassionate, joyful and hopeful, forgiving, and yes, above all, so very, very loving. You might say it all depends on the circumstances of life that one is encountering, experiencing, or even daring to embrace. What is so wonderful? A heart of courage enables us to stir the graces of resurrection, of new life, no matter what. You might say, you and I get to choose to be hopeful, to be kind and caring, to be patient, and yes, to be courageous. It does not mean that we're going to be 100% courageous. It means one steps out to be faithful and believe each day in the small, everyday, and ordinary, sometimes extraordinary graces. To be bold, to be helpful, to be understanding, to be forgiving and thankful, to be honest in a good way, to be prayerful, and always loving, no matter what. Now, you notice I said that a few times. I would like to tell you a short story about no matter what. It was years ago. It happened in my special education class. A boy comes up to me and says, "Sister Ave, I want to work for God on Sundays free." I think to myself, what could he do? His brother and sisters were altar servers, and I knew my student could not remember all of that. I tell him I'll go to the pastor and we'll find out something. He reminds me again, remember, I'll do it free. You don't have to pay me. The pastor and I both agree that he could do something wonderful. My student, who was mentally challenged, he was going to carry the cross in, and everybody would process in. At the end of Mass, he would carry the cross out, and everybody would process after him. We practiced all week. He told me how proud he was and courageous to do this. That Sunday, he appears all dressed up, smiling, holding the cross, and I stand with him in the back of church. He looks at me so happy. As the music begins, his facial expression changes. I said, "What's wrong?" And he starts to cry. "Sister Ave," he says, "I can't do it. I am afraid." Have you ever been afraid? I know I have, plenty of times. Oh, yes, you have. Thank you for saying that. I said, "Why are you afraid?" "I can't do it." Again, the music goes on a little bit louder. I guess the lady thinks we didn't hear it. I think the music frightened him. I say to him, "It's all right." You see, you can't force people to be courageous. You can encourage them. So I say to him, "Do you want me to walk down the aisle with you?" He goes, "No way, I'm a big boy." And he starts down the aisle and does it quite well. At the end of Mass, he comes out and he sees the pastor having a line of people and shaking their hands. He says to me, "What is he doing?" Oh, I said, "He's probably saying, have a good week, and next week is the second collection." You're laughing about that. He says, "Oh, wow." He runs out, I couldn't stop him, and he calls the people over and says, "I have a line too." Everybody gets on his line, and the pastor and I are at the end of it. But we see him doing something. We're not sure what he's saying. He's going like this. The pastor says to me, "My God, what's he saying?" I said, "Well, everybody leaves smiling." As we get closer, the pastor and I smile, and then it was my turn. And he looks at me and he says, Sister Ave, love Jesus all the time, no matter what. I smile too, and I think of that. No matter what, my student with special needs, mentally challenged, loved Jesus all the time. I saw in my student that day a beautiful heart of courage. So here we are, all of us, months into this pandemic, wearing masks, social distancing, taking some courageous steps perhaps to be hopeful and joyful for ourselves and then for others. I truly believe we can come out of this crisis a better world, a better person, better neighbors, even though we might still be struggling. Together we can say no to what holds us back from being a heart of courage. Remember, courage is a wonderful blessing. It's a noble way of living. It encourages us to be hopeful. It encourages us to be loving. So I say to you today, take your heart of courage. Courage is our heart in action. Share peace and respect and charity and great kindness. I hope today this chat for you, this Sunshine Chat, got you in touch with your own courage. So listen carefully now to this little parable. God decided to become visible to a king and an ordinary person. Now you and I in the parable are the ordinary person. We are not the king. The angel said to the king, God is designed to be revealed to you in whatever manner you wish. In what form do you want God to appear? Sitting pompously on his throne and surrounded by awestruck subjects, the king royally proclaimed, how else would I wish to see God, save in majesty and power? Show God to me in majesty and power. God granted his wish and appeared as a bolt of lightning that instantly pulverized the king and his court. Nothing, not even a cinder remained. God granted his wish. The angel then manifested herself to the ordinary person, which is you and me. God deigns to be revealed to you in whatever manner you wish. How do you wish to see God? Thought the ordinary person, puzzling for a long time, and finally said, I'm a poor person and not worthy to see God face to face. But if it is God's will to be revealed to me, let it be in those things in which I am familiar. Let me see God in the earth. Let me see God in the water I drink, the food I eat. Let me see God in my family, my neighbors. And yes, let me see God in those in need. If God deems it good for me and myself, even in my own humble reflection, God granted the ordinary person his wish, and he lived a long time because he took up his cross every day and he found compassion in his own heart. What a gift of courage that is. It's a gift of courage to find the Creator's love in your own heart. Believe it's there even during this pandemic, and that we can see Christ even in our own struggle and the struggles of one another. So remember, this is a Sunshine Chat. God bless you. And there's a phone call asking for help. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.